Everybody, welcome to Virtual Bourbon. My name is Steve Akley. We've got a fun show tonight. We are going to be talking about the best everyday drinker, bottled and bond. We're going to get to that via a blind tasting. This is part 2 of 3, so you don't have to necessarily attend all of these. So I think everyone was here for part 1 as I look through this, but not necessarily. You don't necessarily have to be, and there's no call of reference where you have to. Now, I will say, it's going to be a great session. It's fun tasting the whiskeys blind. The thing that's missing here is the big reveal at the end. What did we just taste? And the reason why I don't say that is I don't want you guys to have any preconceived notions during any part of this process. So if I tell you, okay, these are our winners, you will know that those are the ones moving on. And you may be trying to then search for that one when it comes to the final round, when we will once again do a blind tasting. And we don't want that. We want you guys, doing this all on the merits of taste. So I think you have to literally know nothing about them. Now, you do know a few things. It's 100 proof because it's bottled and bond. We do know that it's worth $50 or less. Again, there are bottled and bonds that cost more than that. And you might even say that they are better than that as we search for the best one. And I get that. But for me to put in a $200 bottle of Old Fitz, if you can find it, I don't know that that's necessarily an honest comparison to something that is $20 or so. So we're all over the place. Everything $50 and less, and from the lower end stuff to the stuff that is right at that threshold of $50. So should be fun. But we will go through this process, and again, you won't know anything this time. When we get to the third and final event, which will be coming up, we will then have the 3 that have moved on from the first session, 3 that move on from tonight. We'll have all 6 of those, once again, tasted blind. And at the end of that, the big reveal for that, we'll, of course, go through the winners, share what they are, and we'll also go through the ones that didn't make it so we can find out that. So again, and you might say, well, you could share with the ones that don't make it. Well, that does give you a little bit of information. So what's been limited. And there's only so many offerings in the bottled and bond category. We tried to stick to ones that are available. There are a lot of bottled and bonds these days. That seems to be more and more craft is getting to it, but we didn't want to focus on anywhere you can only buy it if you happen to live within 20 miles of that distillery, that type of thing. These are ones that I can't say that they're everywhere, but they do have more than average distribution. So that's a little bit of information that I could give to you. So the process is going to be very simple. We're going to, let's pour G first. So we're going to go in alphabetical order here. So we're starting at G. Again, this is the old fashioned handwritten label. I don't know if I'll change these on these ones series. I don't know. Justine, did you put new labels in? So I don't even know if you did these. So I don't think you have these. So I'll do.
Yeah, no.
Those will be handwritten for the final one for this too. So let's pour the first 2 because it's always good to let them sit a little bit as we talk here. So let's pour G and H. But keep track of them because you want to go in order. You don't want to get yourself messed up. But let's get those kind of sitting for just a little bit here. We'll go through these 2 times. So we'll literally go through one time, share nosing notes, we'll share tasting notes. We'll spend the most time evaluating the first pass through. So as we pass through, we're going to talk in depth about the nosing notes we get. Then I'll pick out people individually to share, tasting notes, and then we'll move on to the next one. And when we move on to the next one, we'll pour the one ahead of it. And then, so you'll always have one poured and ready to go as you drink one. After we get done and we go through all the way through G through L, then we'll go back to the beginning, do it one more time, much quicker, higher pass, but see if anything's changed or anything like that. And then I will give you a little bit of time to go through and compare side by side, whatever you need to do to develop a ranking. You're going to be ranking these 1 to 6. So just like we did in the first one, 1 being your favorite, down to 6 being your least favorite of the offerings tonight. So that's the plan. That's how we're going to go about doing this. That's what you'll be doing during that free time. And then I'll put it in a spreadsheet and we'll know who our winners are based on the highest score. All right, with that, let's pick up G here and let's get started with the tasting a portion of the show. Let's talk a little bit on the nose first. What do you guys think as you nose this product?
Sweet.
Sweet, definitely sweet. There's definitely some complexity there because I get some brown sugar, but I also get some citrus in there, kind of a citrus type of zing, as we like to say. Justine and I tend to use that saying a lot when we're the zing, the zest of the citrus.
Come with some cherries.
Some cherries, okay.
Caramel or butterscotch, but I do get the brown sugar.
Caramel and brown sugar, I'm hearing.
Yep, corn notes.
Corn notes, okay.
Right off, yeah.
It's gonna be that one that says juicy fruit.
Juicy fruit, okay. All right, that's been taken. No one else can say that the rest of the night. No, I'm kidding. You can say whatever you want. All right. Let's give it a taste, and then we're going to talk a little bit about what we got going on here on the taste on this one. Nose is good. I think we're off to a good start on the nose. Let's see what we got on taste, though.
That's got some kick to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
It stays with you. It definitely,
Yeah, wow.
definitely does.
Yeah, definitely has a kick.
Mm-hmm.
It's right in the middle of the palate.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with that. That's where it gets you.
Get you right there. Right, a lot of hot. Woo.
Has a
Mhm.
different flavor though.
It's almost like a green tea. There's like this, there's this calming, like not sugary note or anything, but it's almost like there's that citrus zing that I go right to a green tea with.
Mm-hmm.
Right in the middle of the palate,
Yes.
sits right there. You know exactly what you're drinking.
Mm-hmm.
We got
You
a
know,
little bit of spearmint on the
Yeah.
finish.
Spearmint. Okay.
Yeah, it's almost like a hot toddy, kind of a buttery sensation.
Yeah.
Then I definitely don't get any caramel or butterscotch in it at all.
No. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
The bourbon really wants to be a rye.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. And I should have mentioned that. And these are all bourbons, just like the first round. There's no hidden, hey, well, that's actually a rye, or there's not like, mellow corn's a bottle and bond. There's nothing like that. This is all bourbons. So it's all classified as bourbons. Should definitely reiterate that.
It's almost strange how it isn't touching the sides of my tongue at all.
Mhm.
No.
Anywhere else, just right in the middle.
Yeah.
Boom.
Right in the middle.
Like a
Bang.
fastball.
Yeah.
It really has some nice legs.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like it.
Murphy said buttered citrus, which is
Hmm.
hits along the lines of what some others were saying. Mm-hmm. Mr. Whitlatch, where are you falling on this one?
Got an interesting finish. The pepper just keeps growing almost.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, it hits you in that middle and does get you, pepper spice to it for sure. You get some of that. Warms up. It's never uncomfortable though. I'll say that. I mean, it warms up nicely, but not hot. Tony, what are your thoughts here as you taste this one?
I thought this one was really balanced. It's hard to pull out specific notes, but it's kind of got an oaky taste, sits on the middle of my palate, like everyone said. I really like it. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
starting off strong.
it's solid. It is definitely good for sure. Tim, how about you, man?
I will say this is like a Manhattan cocktail mixer, not an old fashioned. I like that pop, and I don't want to balance that out with sweetness in an old fashioned. This is one I want to keep the sweetness away from and really enjoy that. It just sits right in the middle for you. Like you build a cocktail around this whiskey to hit the other flavors that you're looking for. What you hear? This one's solid. This is
Solid.
This is a daily pour. That's what this is. It really feels like a daily pour.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know?
Okay. All right. Rob W., what are your thoughts?
Definitely getting the peppery, spicy notes, and as I said, I prefer my bourbons to be a little bit sweeter, so this is kind of like
Mm-hmm.
it's not bad, but this is a once in a while bourbon, not a daily drinker.
Okay. Okay. All right. Kathy, I'm going to jump up to you, ask you what your thoughts.
So yeah, I mean, I get sweet and I get the heat down the middle. So I can see how it would be good in a cocktail.
Mm-hmm.
It would hold up.
Okay. Yeah. Danny, what about you? What are your thoughts? Danny's quiet.
Well, unfortunately, I'm not one to have too many cocktails, so I really don't care for them much. I like stuff straight up. So, like I said, I do get a lot of the sweetness and oak middle palate. Like I said, it's kind of thick. I mean, it just kind of sits
Mhm.
and floats and lingers. So.
Yeah. Bob, Minnie, how about you?
Yeah, I get a little bit of light oak on the finish, and again, just to me, it just kind of overwhelms my mid palate. I'm not
Mhm.
sure I'd even have it as a cocktail one, I think I'd set it aside and leave it be.
Okay. Okay. And I should know too. I'm never leading the audience. I don't know what these are either. Again, I poured them, but that's been a while ago. That's been a couple of months. So I'm with you. I'm tasting this stuff blind like you guys, though I have the list. It's not with me right here or anything like that. It's over in the area where I poured these. So this is fun for me as well, going in blind with you guys. One more, and then we'll move on. Brian, what are your thoughts?
So I think I'm with Rob. I think I like mine. I like my drinks the bourbon a little sweeter. So
Yeah, absolutely.
it's not necessarily an everyday for me, but it's interesting. Like it really like bites the front of my tongue. But I don't think I would have guessed that from the smell.
Okay. Okay. All right. And again, we'll get to everybody. We just don't necessarily need to go through everybody for each of these. So we're going to move on now to H. So you want to grab H, but you also want to pour I and get that one ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
So pour I and get that sitting there. And
More
then
traditional.
we'll be talking about H in just a second here. All right. As you pick up that H glass, what are your thoughts on the nose on this one?
I get a lot of butterscotch and Werther's on this one.
Butterscotch and Werther's. Mm-hmm.
More traditional, big bourbon.
More traditional. Yeah.
Brian, yeah, somebody said brown sugar on the chat. Yep, and caramel.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I get a little bit of like a copper, almost like a penny smell.
A penny smell. All right.
That's a weird one, I know.
I think that's that ethanol coming off, because I get straight ethanol in this one, or even more menthol spearmint type of, like my whole sinus is just all cleared up. If there was anything there, it's not there anymore at this one.
Okay. You want to be like Justine and take double mint off the table?
Take double mint off it. Yeah.
Double mint's off the table now.
Double mint.
Double mint's off the table, guys. We can't go overboard on these bubblegum ones, but one every once in a while is okay. Milder nose for sure. I agree with that, Murph.
Yeah, you gotta dig into the glass to really get the nose on this one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What's that going to translate to in the taste, though? Let's find out right now. Let's give this thing a taste and see where we're at here taste-wise on this one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's nice. Yeah. There's some spices in there. Taste for sure. It's interesting.
You know, to me, it's not as hot on the mid palate as the last one. It was just a little smoother. It was sweeter, nice caramel notes, and really nice mouth feel for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyone else want to weigh in on this one? Anything stand out? Let's jump down to Paul. Paul's usually good at this stuff. What are your thoughts here, buddy?
I was getting a lot of like cherry, like Luden's, like cough drop flavors on the nose.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it got stuck in my head because I get a lot of that on the palate too. It's very oily, which is good. I mean, definitely a good pour. But yeah, the like cherries jumping out at me. I don't know if I'm tricking myself from the nose, but
right. Yeah. I like it on the palate, but the finish has an aftertaste that is a bit bitter, says Mr. Murph. Mr. Bill, what are your thoughts here as you taste our second offering, H of the night?
It's not horrible.
Yes. So you're a big fan.
That's high praise from Bill.
Yeah, Bill, that's pretty good. That's one of his highest rankings ever, actually. So that's good. Congratulations, H. The legend. Let's check in with the legend, see what's going on. He's on mute. So
yeah. Well, I think it's sweeter than the first one.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
A nice mouthfeel.
Mm-hmm.
Not as hot.
Yeah, definitely not.
But I do agree with the it's at the finish, it's at the very, very end, it's a little bitter.
Mm-hmm.
Which
yeah,
not really a bad thing.
Yeah, there's a little bitter twist at the end, I'd say. Tom, how about you, man? What are you thinking as you taste this one?
I tasted some fruit, and then I guess when Paul said cherry, that kind of came to mind. There's some spice, but not the pepper of the last one. It's smooth, and there's some caramel, which I like. And then at the end, there is that little bit of bitterness.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. There's bitterness on the end. To me, the spices are almost kind of holiday-esque, holiday type of spices. So that stuff you get November, December tastes like that to me. All right, let's call on Justine. Justine, what are your thoughts?
I agree with Paul about the cherry Luden's cough drop. I don't know, this one that leaves a weird aftertaste in my mouth. Not necessarily, I don't know. It's kind of like a dry, dull aftertaste. I wouldn't call it bitter. I don't know. I'm not real fond of this one. I liked it on the nose, but the taste
Doesn't live up to expectations. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Mike Gaskamp, what are your thoughts?
So I kind of picked up, pretty sweet on the nose, and I kind of get a spiced honey right up front. So it's kind of spicy, kind of sweet. Not really all that noteworthy, but not awful.
Yeah.
So glaring praise. It on the aftertaste, I'm getting where it's going kind of black tea. It's going kind of astringent and just kind of hanging out and not being real pleasant. But I don't know. We had worse ones in the first six. So that's kind of what you always worry about is like you get into the NFC East of the NFL and somebody's got to win with six. Somebody's got to go to the playoffs with 6 wins.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Mr. Murphy?
Yeah, I think the nose was mild but pleasant. On the palate, it wasn't bad initially, but I can't get around that aftertaste. It just turned me off on the whole thing.
It's getting you. Okay. All right. Last one, we'll check in. Let's Scott, you're sitting in. Are you getting to taste this stuff too, Scott? And if so, tell us what your thoughts are.
No, I'm not. I had already started drinking and my palate's not working. Just hanging out.
Okay, just hanging out. All right.
Could use a peanut gallery.
Okay, fair enough. That's not a bad thing. All right, we'll move on now to I. We do want to pour J though, so we got J ready. So we're going to pour J, but we're going to be drinking I. So don't grab the wrong one there. All right, I. What do we got here? On the nose for I. Again, pretty light on the nose. Egos, maybe?
Not double mint, but it's similar to the last one, just not as much of a bite.
Okay.
On the nose, at least for me. It's not as sharp.
Mm-hmm.
Which I find more pleasant.
Little musty funk kind of smell.
A little funk to it. Okay.
Yeah.
Justine is saying honeysuckle. Okay. All right, let's see what we got taste wise on this one, and then we'll talk about it.
Let's taste first.
That's different than I thought. It's way different than I thought. I didn't think there was going to be a whole lot of taste there. There's definitely taste there.
Peppery.
Mm-hmm. Peppery.
Yeah,
that's all I get. Floral in there.
Peppery.
I
get the little floral notes in there for me.
Got some sweetness to it.
Yeah, it is sweet. Mm-hmm.
To me, it's closer to the first one, but not quite as hot and a little more floral, a little easier to drink.
Yeah. Yeah.
This one kind of hits you on the front of the tongue, but this one has more of a finish than that first one.
Yeah. Neil seems to be an expert at finding where to hit you, because he's right on as he says that. I wasn't even thinking of that, but then when he says it, like, hell yeah, that's exactly what it's doing for me. It's hitting me right at the front of the palate. And then it does kind of work its way back, but it definitely starts. It hits you at that palate, and you get the first response there, even though it's already the liquid's gone across your palate. The sensation starts at the front, and then moves backwards.
And it gradually goes back.
Yeah. Weird. Very weird. Tony, what are your thoughts on this one as you taste it?
This one is a lot like the first one, kind of balanced, but balanced throughout the whole nose, palate, and finish. I think got a better finish. The finish lingers a lot longer. Got a good sweetness to it, kind of like a Buffalo Trace product. I like it.
Yeah, like it. Yeah, yeah. I feel like, if this group was hanging out, and I just kept pouring that, I feel like we'd talk and just keep drinking it. I don't know. It feels like a session bourbon, if you will. So, all right, Casey, what are your thoughts as you taste this one?
So very, very mild nose compared to the other two. Didn't get a whole lot. Really had to kind of pull on that. I do get the floral, but also a little herbal notes and kind of a crackery mid body, some kind of bready mid body, and then a nice finish, which was better than the second one, which had a bit of a medicinal finish. So this one seemed a little bit more approachable, I think, as a sipper.
Yeah. Yeah. Tom, what are your thoughts as you try this one?
There really wasn't much on the nose.
Yeah.
It's more peppery than the last one, similar to the first, but not as hot. I definitely get the floral, and now that you mentioned herbal, I'm getting that. The finish was softer than the first. I'll say longer, and it surprised me after the nose. The sweetness surprised me.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Melanie, how about you? What are your thoughts as you taste this one?
Yeah, I think it tastes better than it smells. The nose isn't particularly remarkable. I don't have anything different to add than what's been said. A little peppery, a little sweet, hits on the front of the tongue. It's pleasant.
Okay. All right. Rob B.
I'm going to bring down the curve a little bit here. I think I'm not as big of a fan as it sounds like the rest of us are. To me, I'm a viscosity hound. I don't get it. This one really has next to none. There's nothing necessarily unpleasant about it, but it's just not remarkable in any way. Not offensive, but I think this will probably end up in the middle of the pack somewhere for me.
Okay. All right.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Mr. Bill?
Pretty much what everybody else has said. It's not great, not horrible. It's probably somewhere in the middle of the pack. It's okay.
It's okay. Okay. I hope Bill makes it as a big time bourbon reviewer one day. And that's what we get to. It's like, it's okay, Mr. Bill. That would be awesome. And then you're buying it, you're like, holy cow, he gave that an okay. I mean, that's pretty darn good. That's not bad.
He gave it, I don't hate it. It's a must buy.
Yeah, it's on
Get your mules out there.
It's on shelf hangers. Yeah, I don't hate it.
Press.
Mr. Bill.
When the David Letterman had always had the skit, and you got to impress Ed Asner.
Right. So Brian,
when something is remarkable,
you'll let us know.
I say it.
Okay. Yeah. You do.
Yeah. You have a very distinguished palate now.
Yeah. Brian, what are your thoughts on this one, man?
Definitely not as spicy. I think I like it better because of that. I feel like I get a little bit more on the nose after having some in my mouth. Right, so like you take a drink and then you like smell it again, and you get a little bit more. It's still not quite as strong as the other ones, but it does pull a little bit more out of it, which is interesting.
It's been opened up a little bit.
Okay, yeah, this will be a fun one to come back to, and that's exactly what we'll do. We will revisit this just like all the other ones. You can grab J now. That's going to be the next one we do. We do want to pour K and get that ready to go. So get your K in the glass, but put that back. We'll be back to that in just a moment. All right, now to Jay. Okay. I mean, vanilla wafers. I mean, we're starting to get a little bit more of a classic bourbon nosing here.
Cake frosting.
Cake frosting, yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I get like grainy cereal notes.
Grainy cereal, okay.
I was going with graham cracker, something like that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say graham cracker too.
Yeah.
Graham cracker. Yeah. So
Golden graham cereal or something.
Golden grams. It sounds promising. So let's taste it and see what we got here. Okay.
Got some sneaky heat.
Sneaky heat.
Yeah, at the end. Right at the end.
Yeah.
Kind of builds up.
It's a
Buttered popcorn though. Are you guys getting that? Like it's corn based though. It's a corn.
Yeah.
But it's not coming to the front of the tongue like you normally would expect out of the corn.
Mm-hmm.
Very different flavor.
Yeah.
That one's interesting.
Yeah.
Get you at the back of the palate on the sides. Even really on the sides. It's getting you.
It's a little oily, and so it gets you in the back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Mr. Whitlatch, where are you falling on this one?
Don't really know what to think of this. I liked it better on the nose than I did on the palate. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't disagree with that. Yeah, the nose was, once again, the nose and palate don't necessarily match up on this one. Mike Gascamp. Oh, go ahead. Was that
I was
Neil?
gonna say, this is extremely viscous. You can see the legs on this go forever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's still where I took my last drink. I mean, it's still up there at that high in the glass, and just, yeah. So it is definitely viscous. Mr. Gascamp?
I was thinking, yeah, it's kind of like a spicy cereal, like, put a little Louisiana on your corn pops and kind of along those lines. But yeah, definitely great on the nose. Nice kind of sweet frosting, maybe just tinge a little bit of yeast behind there. Almost not quite bready, but yeah, I mean, this was when I smelled it. I really wanted it to be better.
Yeah. Yeah. Rob W.
Yeah, I liked it on the nose, but there's a funny taste right up front that kind of
Exactly.
It hits you, as opposed for the aftertaste sort of lingering. It hits you with that aftertaste, and then kind of gets a little bit better, but it's weird.
Yeah. 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 Bob, you were in agreement there. Anything?
Yeah,
you
no,
want to add,
that I can't quite put my finger on that taste, right? You start to taste it, whether it's that like buttered popcorn or something, but it's just a very different compared to some of the others, very different taste right up front. And it's not bad at the end, but it's just a different taste up front.
Yeah.
I can't put my finger on the flavor though.
Yeah. Paul, what do you think?
Maybe.
Paul, what do you think of this one?
I think I'm right there with everyone. It's a little disappointing. It's really sweet for me, like cotton candy sweet.
Mm-hmm.
But then I don't like the finish at all. It's got a weird, it's some sort of like fake buttery oil that you would put on popcorn at a movie theater or something.
Yeah.
Better flavoring.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
maybe.
That lingers, and it's just, this is one where you want to take a sip again and again and again to get that finish out of your mouth.
Yeah. Mr. Brenner.
I'm going to have to agree with most everybody else. It's kind of strange.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Kathy, cool.
I think I don't know. It's hitting the middle of the road for me.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with my Mr. Bill analysis system.
Yeah. Okay. Last one we'll touch base with here is Danny before we move on to our next offering. He's getting it right now. Wait for it. He's going back to it. This is going to be big here. He's going to come up with something that wows us. Here we go. What do you think, Danny?
Sorry, is there anything wow about it?
Nothing there you want to add?
Right now, I'm just not getting anything.
Not getting anything. Okay.
I don't know why, but
Okay. Well, even that was better than the time he fell asleep and was snoring loudly on our session. That was a tough one for me. As an instructor, that's your worst case scenario right there. Someone in your class falls asleep and is snoring.
In Danny's defense, Freddie Mills stopped by first for a barbecue, so
exactly.
that's the problem.
Exactly.
You next to take a gas when Freddie steps over.
All right, let's pour L, but we'll be drinking K. Freddie
Steve,
Mills.
I never have a problem with anybody falling asleep in my class.
Yeah. Mr. Bill teaches gun safety classes, so.
Oh, I'm sure if Freddie showed up, he would fall asleep.
Yes. Freddie is Danny's alter ego we've named because he gets drunk and starts texting about stuff you don't even understand. And the best one was all time. He was like, he's quoting someone named Freddie Mills. And I don't know, there's a lot of Freddies in bourbon. So, there's, Freddie No, there's Freddie that comes on these sessions. Then there's Fred Minnick. There's a lot of Fred. So I don't know who he was talking about, Freddie Mills that he's quoting, but yeah. So
Johnson.
Yeah, Freddie Johnson. Yeah, so Danny got pretty lit and starts texting, but he quit doing that. I did a whole show about it because if anybody doesn't know, we do podcasts, and I did a whole podcast about Danny's drunken text where we read them on the air and try to do some analysis, and it was pretty funny. People like that show, but Danny quit texting me after that. I should have saved at least 2 or 3 more shows out of there before I exposed it, but.
Well, you can always do a live interview one night.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Let's try K here on the nose. Okay.
More like candy.
Candy.
Vanillas.
Yeah, I'm getting vanilla frosting.
Yeah.
Vanilla frosting. I'm getting that too.
I'm getting some musky rum funk.
Rum funk. Yeah.
Good call.
Mm-hmm.
It's like almost like a port wine finish or something like that. It's one of those port finishes or those dark sherried finishes. Get a scotch.
Yeah, we get that.
There.
Yeah. I'm used to drinking a little bit of rum now. I don't really know anything about rum. I don't want to act like I'm an expert. I don't really know that much. But the Jamaican rums, where they have that Jamaican funk.
Yep.
That's what this has got. So.
Yep.
And that's only comes from hanging out with Turner Wathen at Neely, where he's bottling the stuff. I get to try all the different types, and that's the only way I've learned anything about rum. I don't really actually know that much about it. Let's taste it though. This is an interesting one off the bat. I'll give it that. It is very interesting. So let's taste it, see where we're at.
I didn't think we were going to get to Big Red, but apparently we did.
Oh, Big Red's off the list.
Big Red is now off the list. No one else can use that.
Oh, that's solid.
Yeah.
Spice is
That's
so
interesting,
evenly layered throughout the whole experience. Much
Mhm.
better than the first one, which was kind of a punch in the tongue.
Yeah.
Nice balance.
That's very
Sweet.
balanced.
Yeah.
Big Red is a good call because it has a cinnamon taste, but it's sweet too, like like a chewing gum is. So plenty of sugar there.
Yeah, Big Red was a good comment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think we found the Evan Williams bottled and bond.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You think so this one is? I don't know.
Pretty good.
Rob B, what what are your thoughts on this one?
Damn it, you had to come to me after the Big Red, didn't you? Yeah, that's all I taste now.
You're right. It's all Big Red now.
I got nothing. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Brian, you come up with anything else besides Big Red on this one?
No, not yet. But
okay.
No. Yeah, sorry. No, I got nothing else to add right now.
Yeah. Tom?
I don't know what Big Red tastes like. I don't think I've had it. If it's cinnamon, I definitely get that.
It's cinnamon gum.
Yeah, a little bit of caramel. On the nose, there was like vanilla and, like a cereal, corn cereal, I guess. Kind of sweet, balanced.
Yeah. Aftertaste on this is nice. We talked about some being bitter and things like that. This one is nice. It feels like you've just spit out a piece of Big Red. I mean, it just feels like you've had and checked it, and it's good.
You could sip on that for quite a while all night long.
There's some peanut brittle in there too, or English toffee as well that rounds that out. That's cinnamon.
Yeah.
There's something there around it. It's more of a rich toffee caramel type of thing, like a peanut brittle type of round on the end there, on the soft edges at the end of it.
Yeah.
It's not cinnamon and spicy the entire way. It dulls to a point where I think I'm getting that toffee or like a peanut brittle type of aftertaste or on the finish. That's good.
Yeah.
I think the finish kind of dries out at the end, but not in a bad way.
Yeah, great. Very nice.
Tony, how about you, man? Where do you weigh in on this one?
I thought it was pretty sweet overall. It's got that candy, butterscotch. Somebody mentioned rum, like some sweet rum. I got that. It's really good. I'm having trouble finding ones that I don't like, actually. So
yeah, there's nothing that we've had that's horrible tonight. I think overall these are.
Don't speak too soon.
We don't know. We got one more. We'll see.
Got one left.
Yeah. Tony, do you feel like this is one of those that you would, like McNew used to, her way of judging things, if they were good, you would drink it till you fall off the porch? Is this one you could, you don't have a porch in your setup but if you had a house that had a porch, would this be when you drink till you fall off the porch?
I think more number 3 would be that one.
Okay.
This one's got a little more punch and flavor.
Okay. So yes, drink till you fall off the porch. Gotta love McNew. All right. Justine, we haven't heard from you in a little while. What are your thoughts here?
Right.
I think I've been swayed by everybody because I was getting kind of like a leathery nose, but now when I smell it, all I can smell are everything that everybody said. I think I'm broken.
Yeah, well, that does happen with the group tasting. So there's a lot of good, but also, you can kind of lock your mind in on one note. That does happen. I think that's a thing. So
I do 100% agree with Big Red though.
Big Red. Okay. All right. Let's move on from Big Red here and go to our last one. It should be poured and ready to go for you. That is L.
What gum do we have on this one?
No.
Fruit stripe.
Fruit stripe. Fruit stripe hasn't been used. Okay.
Get peanuts on this one.
Peanuts?
Like peanut butter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Peanut butter, peanut brittle is. Yeah. All right, let's taste it. See where we're at here.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the taste is pretty much spot on with the nose. Matches.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Here's your Jim Beam bonded. I'm calling.
That's your George Dickel bonded.
Oh.
Liquid peanut brittle.
Yeah. Liquid peanut butter. George Dickel bottle and bond.
Mm-hmm.
Going Old Tub.
Old Tub. Old Tub is a bottled and bond.
Yeah. Almost a little too sweet for Old Tub.
Mm-hmm.
You think?
I like that.
You might be right.
All the way across your palate. I mean, no hot spots across your palate anywhere.
Yeah.
Very balanced.
Casey, what do you think of this one?
So I like the sweetness. I think it has the best mouthfeel of all of them.
Okay.
Really, really clean and smooth all the way through. I'm still picking out the notes though, but I did get a little bit of that kind of freshly shelled peanut kind of going on there.
Yeah. Rob W.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting the peanut brittle, but on the finish, there was a little bit of like an orange zest to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Interesting. Mr. Bill, dare I check in?
He doesn't hate it.
I like this.
Whoa! All right, the event is over. We're just
I have
the winner.
had better, but I've had a whole lot worse tonight.
Okay. All right. Mr. Bill has spoken. Okay.
Buy it by the case.
A couple more before we go back through one last time. Well, let's check in with Mr. Whitlatch. Haven't heard from him in a little bit here.
It tastes like a Willet product almost. That Johnny Drum has that nice peanut flavor to it. This is reminiscent of that.
Okay, fair enough. Mr. Murph?
Yeah, I like this one. It's going to wind up in my top two. I'm kind of tasting back and forth.
That's in the business, guys. That's known as foreshadowing. That's what we call foreshadowing. All right. Let's go back through again. More of a high level this time. We're not going to drill it down where we do. But if anybody wants to add to this, let's go back to G. We'll start at the top of where we started for the evening. Starting with G.
Oh, that opened up nice.
It did.
Yeah, it did.
A nice floral nose. I mean, there's your vanillas, there's your caramels.
Yeah, very different experience.
Yeah, that one really opened up nice.
Oh, it's not as hot this time around. No,
I was just going to say, not the punch in the mouth like the first time around.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Little toasted marshmallow.
Yeah, it's almost like someone switched our glasses here. So this is going to impact the voting. I believe it's but
So this is the one I didn't even feel on the sides of my tongue, and now I do. This was the fastball down the middle.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's the quote of the day. There it is, right there.
Quote of the day, right
Quote of the
there.
day.
Kathy gives the quote of the day.
Quote of the day.
Fastball down the middle. So
Wow.
now, yeah.
Well done.
I'm so confused now.
Yeah, this one's totally changed. Like I said, it's like a magic trick. Like a magic trick.
There's a Big League Chew pasty sweetness note there. Anybody else catching that?
Big League Chew.
What is it with the gum analogies?
I don't know how this group is stuck on the gum stuff. I don't know. Big League Chew.
It is great Big League Chew a little bit.
It's graduated from Juicy Fruit, I think, the first time. So
We've gone down a step. Next step will be Topps baseball gum.
Oh my God.
Oh gosh.
Nobody ever ate that gum. It was just
powdered glass.
That's the worst stuff. Yes.
Powdered glass.
I did.
Yeah. Well, you did, but it was bad.
Yeah.
It doesn't last real long.
Suck it on paint chip.
Yeah.
I was just when you get the cards some smell.
Yeah.
Plastic.
Or you get the bazooka gum, which is good for like a minute. It's like it's super sweet, and then it's just gone. Then there's nothing left in it.
Right,
So,
and then you're popping another piece in your mouth.
yeah.
Well,
You get one of those
that's the
big
point, right?
buckets,
Sell
and you
more
realize,
gum.
yeah, it doesn't last that long. All right, let's move on to H. Same thing, just a quick revisit, see if this one's changed. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Time has also been kind of gone to this one. Buttery caramel. Let's taste it.
Your brown sugar and you're like your barbecue.
And And maybe it's a little burned brown sugar because it still has
Mhm.
a little bit of that bitter aftertaste.
You know,
Yeah, I'm
I'm
still
tasting
getting
that now.
that medicine bitterness.
Still picking that
Luden's
up.
cough drops.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
still there.
I don't get as much of the cherry as before.
Definitely tasting that now.
It's interesting. It feels like the repass is making things a little bit harder
Yeah.
on the judging. So you guys have got a hard job in front of you. All right, let's try I. We're on I next, our second and final pass through with I.
Definitely retains that floral and herbal character.
Floral and herbal. Okay. On the taste.
Yeah. More
Pretty insubstantial.
Mm-hmm. Anybody's thoughts on this one, Mr. Bill? The thoughts revisiting this one a second time?
Well, my guess would be that they put this in a barrel hot and it got real hot. And then they watered it down a lot and it lost a lot of its flavor.
Yep. Yeah. This
Yeah,
is a
not
top
much to it.
warehouse. I think
Very
you're
good
right.
analysis.
Yeah.
Not much viscosity either. You know, just
Right.
kind of. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A great spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah, air did it some favor, but it only got better on the nose.
Yeah.
Pretty flat
Yeah.
on the palate.
Yeah. I agree. All right, now we move on to J.
J.
Clinking all the glasses back here. J is next.
Oh, that nose is still nice.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Some notes from the dessert buffet there for sure. Definitely things you find there. All right, let's try it.
It was kind of a weird taste.
Yeah. There's something off.
Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then I pick up a lot of oak now on the finish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
you need
Murphy
to make
said
that one
earlier.
into an air freshener and then be done with it. It's really good for that. It smells great, but it doesn't drink great.
Send it to an air freshener company. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Doesn't
like-
drink right. I like that.
Like a burnt peanut.
Burnt peanuts.
Yeah.
Okay.
And not a good burnt peanut.
Yeah.
Like overburnt peanut.
Yes. Like when you burn a bag of popcorn in the microwave.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's
Maybe
the
even
setting on the microwave to reheat fish? Yeah, that
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And on to K. Let's try K.
I'll still get strong butterscotch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one opened up nice too.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's a butterscotch bomb now. On the
It's got a little smoky there too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, Bill, you're right.
Oh my, that's way better.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's tasty.
A lot of butterscotch. Big
Mhm.
butterscotch bomb.
This one's not going to last long. One's on the endangered species list.
That's good.
Yeah. Solid.
It's like buttered corn on the cob too.
Yeah. Very
It's
nice.
Really, yeah, that's a really sweet.
Oh
that's-
yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
That one stood up well.
I think this is the one that I got kind of the leathery
Yeah.
note on. And I feel like I got it more now.
Mm-hmm.
That buttery corn on the cob that you just said, man, it's as soon as you said it, it's like, wow, yeah.
Yeah. I went right to it.
Spot on.
Yeah. All right. Last one we want to go back to before we take a little time to evaluate independently is L.
Remember, this is Mr. Bill's. I love it.
Bill loved this
know.
one. Is he
The
still in
stamp
love?
of approval.
Keep that
Is
in
he still
mind,
in love?
folks.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Let's see.
Yeah, I get even more peanut butter now.
Oh, that's
Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Wow.
Bill, Mr. Bill, is that still it? I like it.
Yeah, I still like it.
He's still Bill's still good with it. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's nice.
Is this the one that somebody said earlier that it goes to a dry mouth at the end and they
Yes.
liked it? Is that you,
Yes.
Neil?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
It pulls forward. It pulls
Yeah.
to the middle.
Yeah.
You're right, Neil.
Yeah. Very cool. All right. What we're going to do next, I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes here. This allows you to go back, do side by side, because you're making a list, ranking them 1 to 6, 1 being your favorite, down to 6 being your least favorite of the ones that we drank tonight. And if you don't mind, work on those lists, do side by sides, whatever you need to do to develop that final list. Then we'll run through those and I'll enter them into our spreadsheet here.
There really were no real clunkers in this batch, unlike the last few that
Yeah.
I've done.
Yeah, I agree. There wasn't anything that
Like
was bad.
Burnt tire, obvious, number 6.
Yeah. Yeah. So we didn't have that this time around. So, which is interesting. And how I did this too is I drew it random. So I wanted to keep everything as random as possible. Didn't set them up or anything like that. Just pull them out and randomly said, okay, this is how we do it. So everything about it is as random as possible. See a couple of people still working, so I don't want to start back just yet. When I do, I'll be working in a spreadsheet. I cannot see you, nor can I see your chat if you're sending that. I'll be in the spreadsheet working on the same laptop that I'm doing this event on. So if you need me, you just have to call me. Okay, I can hear you. I just can't see you when we're doing that part of it.
We're unmuted.
You are unmuted. You're unmuted. Scott, if that was making fun of me, I heard that. I'm not sure what that was. I think it was making fun of me.
You. I was
The Zoom
going
bomber.
Steve.
Yeah.
He's the Zoom bomber.
Sorry, I've been drinking. I'm
Yes. All right. Are we ready to go? Does anybody need more time?
Ready to go.
Okay.
It's tough to do 3 through 5. They're the hardest.
That's the hardest. Okay. All right. Let's see here.
You're unmuted.
You're unmuted. You're okay. All right. Here we go. Tom, you're first. So again, I'm looking for 1, 2, what is your number 1, G through L. So, and then follow in that order. Okay. And then you got to go a little bit slow because I got to type it in. Other than that. Okay. All right. Tom, you're first.
Number 1, I'll say is K, kilo.
Okay.
Number 2, L, Lima.
Okay.
Number 3, G, golf.
Okay.
4, H, hotel.
Okay.
5, I, India.
Okay.
And 6, J, Juliet.
All right. Danny, you are next.
Okay, I've got number 1 as E,
It's G. Okay.
E. Egg. Egley.
Yeah. What was it?
One,
We don't have
one
any.
is-
We don't have any. We don't have any.
oh, sorry, L.
He's all belligerent. I don't know what he's talking about. Okay. Okay. All right. So number one is L. All right.
L. Yes.
Okay.
Can't read my own writing. Tell you.
Okay.
Number two is K.
Okay.
Number three will be G.
Okay.
Number four is I.
Okay.
Number five is H.
Okay.
And number six is J.
J. Okay. Rob W. You're next.
K is my first.
Okay.
L.
All right.
G.
Okay.
H.
All right.
J.
Okay.
And I.
And I. Okay. Tim.
All right, I'm going K is number one.
Okay.
G.
Okay.
L.
All right.
J.
Okay.
H.
Okay.
And then I.
And then I. Okay. Fair enough. Melanie Robinson.
G,
Okay.
K,
All right.
L,
Okay.
H,
All right.
J, I.
Okay. And I. All right. Neil.
L, K,
Okay.
G,
Okay.
J,
Okay.
I,
All right.
H.
H last. Okay. Paul.
L, K, H, J, G, I.
Okay. All right. Rob B.
We go K Kilo, H Hotel, J Juliet, G Golf, L Lima, I India.
Okay. Mike.
I've got Lima, Kilo, Golf, Hotel, India, Juliet.
Okay. Tony, you're going to be next.
I got I, G, K, H, L, and J.
Okay. Got it. Brian. Brian G.
I've got L, K, G, H, J, I.
Okay. Brian M.
K,
Okay.
L,
Okay.
I, H, J.
Okay. Got it. Casey.
I'd be the first one to say G, golf.
Okay.
First, then Kilo, then Lima, then Hotel, India, Juliet.
Okay. Juliet. All right. Bill.
Lima, Kilo, Golf, Juliet, India, Hotel.
Okay. Bob. Many.
L is in Larry, K is in Kilroy, G is in girl, H is in Harry, J Juliet, I India.
Okay. That was fast, but I kept up.
Okay,
Bob W.
thanks.
Yeah, I was good. I'm on my game here, despite the drinking. All right. Bob Whitlatch.
K, L, I, G, H, J.
Okay. Kathy.
I'm going to go O,
Okay.
K, G, H, J, I.
Yep.
All right, the legend.
K, L, G, I, J, and H.
Okay. And finally, Justine.
Number 1 is L.
Okay.
K,
Okay.
G, H,
Okay.
J, I.
Okay. Did I miss anyone? Okay. All right. Do we have a clear-cut winner? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. That's good. All right. In 6th place, with only 29 points, is I. In 5th place, which is 30 points, only one above, was J. And then in 4th place, the last one not to move on, is H with 41 points. And then we're going to go reverse. Now we'll go first to third. So this is the highest ranked one was K, came in at 79 points. Then L had 73 points. And finally, G makes it as well with 63 points. So there we go. We now have our final set, and I will be mailing out samples of each of the 6 that were moving on to the finals. So the first 3 that we picked from the first event, now these 3, and we will be comparing those all side by side and ranking them 1 to 6 to see where we're at here. And what happened to them before gets tossed out. Say something scored, our highest score tonight, whatever that was, and it could score higher than that, could score lower than that. None of that matters. It has to stand on its own merit next time we get together. So that should be interesting. And we are going to get together one last time. I don't have the date in front of me. Justine, if you could look that up real quick while I talk about it a little bit. We do, if you haven't signed up for round 3, there are 2 tickets left, I saw. So we do have 2 tickets left. So if you haven't signed up for that yet, those are available, so you can get signed up and be a part of the finale. So that's out there. And I think it's about a month from now is when that one is scheduled to come up. But
May 12th.
May 12th. So yeah, just about a month. So I'll work on getting these out and get them to you guys. And next time when we get together, we'll go through the whole thing too. So we'll go through the ones that didn't make it, share those, and then ultimately we'll have the 6 that are on there ranked 1 through 6. That's the goal, to rank those properly 1 to 6. So pretty cool, huh?
Very nice.
Yeah, a little bit unfulfilling. I know you'd love to hear what they are, and I get that. I mean, I'd want to know too, but it would mess with our process, I feel. So we just can't do that. To do this completely honestly, we're gonna continue to go in blind, and we'll do that. So we get one last round, and there'll be different numbers or letters, I mean, than these are. So we'll go further down the alphabet. Cool. Well, that's it for this one. I'll turn off the recorder. We'll say goodbye to our audience that's watching at home. We did have some that couldn't make it tonight, unfortunately. Say goodbye to them. And I'll stick around here as long as you guys like. We can talk a little bourbon industry, whatever you'd like. Thank you.